You've definitely heard the buzz about the keto diet, right? But what if you could actually rewire your body's entire engine to run on fat? Well, in the next few minutes, we're going to cut through all the hype and demystify keto, showing you exactly how it works and what it might mean for you.
Let's just jump right into the big idea here. Imagine you could flip a switch inside your body, turning it from a machine that burns sugar for fuel into one that burns fat. That's the huge, kind of radical promise of the ketogenic diet, and we're about to see how it's all supposed to happen.
So what is the keto diet, really? Seriously, forget everything you think you know about the traditional food pyramid. This is about completely overhauling your body's go-to fuel source.
Okay, so at its very heart, keto is basically a numbers game with your food. You slash your carbs down to almost nothing. We're talking like less than you'd find in a single apple per day. Then, you replace all those calories with a ton of fat and a solid amount of protein. The whole point is to force your body into a completely new way of operating.
And wow, when you see it laid out, the shift is just dramatic. I mean, look at this. Fat isn't just a part of the diet. It is the diet. It makes up a massive 70 to 75% of everything you eat. Protein comes in second, and carbs, they're just this tiny little sliver. It's like the food pyramid has been turned completely upside down.
And here's something that might surprise you. Keto is not some new Instagram fad. It's actually been around for a century. It got its start way back in the 1920s as a medical treatment for kids with epilepsy. Its new life as this huge weight loss trend, that's a much more recent thing.
All right, let's get into the science of it all. How does this high-fat, super low-carb approach actually power your body? It's all about flipping that metabolic switch we talked about.
You know, probably the easiest way to wrap your head around this is with an analogy. Think of your body like a hybrid car. Its preferred, easy-to-use fuel is glucose, which you get from carbs. That's the gasoline. Now, if you take away all the gas by cutting out carbs, the car doesn't just stop. No, it's forced to switch over to its backup battery power. And in this case, that backup power is your stored body fat.
And this whole fuel switching state, it has a name. It's called ketosis. And getting into ketosis is the entire goal of the diet. When you stop giving your body carbs, your liver turns into this little ketone factory. It starts breaking down fat and converting it into these amazing little energy molecules. And get this, ketones don't just fuel your muscles, they can fuel your brain too.
So how do you get there? Well, it's basically a 4-step journey that can take anywhere from a couple of days to a full week. Step 1, you drastically cut the carbs. Step 2, your body burns through all of its leftover sugar stores. After that, Step 3, your liver kicks into high gear and starts breaking down fat. And finally, Step 4, ketones take over as your body's new primary fuel.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. That sounds like a ton of work and maybe not a lot of fun. So why on earth would anyone put themselves through all that trouble? Well, the answer is in the potential benefits that people talk about. For a lot of people, the number one draw is weight loss. I mean, you're literally teaching your body to burn its own fat for energy. But the reported benefits go way beyond the scale. People talk about having sharper mental focus, really stable energy all day long without those afternoon slumps, and better blood sugar control. For some, it's like a full-body reset.
But hold on, before you go and clear out your pantry, we have to talk about the reality of it. This diet isn't without its challenges, and there are some pretty important risks to know about.
You know, the first big hurdle that a lot of people face is the infamous keto flu. And don't worry, it's not contagious. But for a few days, it can definitely feel like you're coming down with something.
So, as your body is making this huge transition, you might feel pretty run down. We're talking about headaches, feeling tired, maybe a little dizzy, and just general crankiness. But here's the key thing to remember. It's temporary. It's just your body's way of saying, whoa, what's happening? And it usually passes within a week or so.
And this brings up a really important safety point we have to be clear on. The ketosis we're talking about from this diet is a controlled, natural metabolic state. This is completely different from something called ketoacidosis, which is a very dangerous, life-threatening medical emergency that mostly affects people with type 1 diabetes. They are not the same thing, not even close.
All right, so let's get practical. If you were actually going to try this, what would you be eating day to day? Because the food list is pretty specific.
It really just boils down to a simple yes and no list. In the yes column, you've got all the healthy fats. Think avocados, olive oil, you've got proteins like fish, beef, and eggs, and lots of leafy green veggies. But the no column, that's a long one. Bread, pasta, sugar, soda, most fruits like bananas and apples, and even things like beans are all out. Basically, if it's high in carbs, it's off the menu.
So there you have it. The keto diet isn't just a diet. It's a full-on metabolic reboot. It promises to turn your body into a fat-burning machine, but it absolutely demands a very strict and, for many, a very challenging commitment. The real question isn't just about what you eat. It's about whether you're ready for such a fundamental change. Is that potential reward worth the radical overhaul? That's the question keto leaves on your plate.